You're listening to the Esoterics Podcast. Hi, everyone. This is Fioraliz.
And this is Joe. Welcome back to the Esoterics Podcast. Hello, beautiful friend. How are you today?
I am wonderful. How are you? How are you feeling with this portal energy?
Girl, today has had some energy. Listen, I'm trying not to categorize it as one way or the other than really being really powerful and good. But people got to get your mind right because things can go left really easily. Okay, so Hollis has the shits today. And he unleashed his bowels and his bladder fucking twice at the back door. Twice. And they're the little droplets too, right? And diarrhea. I mean, it was a big fucking mess. So, okay, so in this energy, I know this. So am I compassionate and patient, or do I lose my shit? So, the thing is that he knows how to get my attention. He knows that if I'm in bed, come up to me, nudge me, push me. He does it all the time. So he knows how to get my attention to say, I have to go out. But so it's been a little bit of both. Half sees losing my shit and half sees patience because it's not his fault, right?
Sure.
But I lost my shit because he fucking stepped in it and then he walked in it. And he walked all over the carpet and then he got up on the couch. And so here I am having to clean everything. God. It was fucking gross. So, yeah, it's gross. Luckily, he has a blanket that I lay down on the couch and he knows he can only sit on that. So it's just on the blanket. But still, God damn it, it's dog shit on my couch.
Yeah, it's still shit to clean up.
Anyway, so I'm respecting the energy today, and I'm trying to stay in my lane with my emotions, and then only call in the really good stuff. So, What about you? How are you doing in this energy?
I've just been dealing with dreams, just like intense dreams, and actually, really remembering dreams right now. But so far in my waking life, it's been okay. I don't have anything to no one's testing my patience right now.
No, knock wood, right? And you have the coolest dreams too. They're always vivid and cool, and there's actual structure to them, which is really cool.
Yeah. Well, I was telling you I had this one that I know I wouldn't have normally remembered, but it was the dogs woke me up at it was 4 a.m, and they were outside barking at something. And then I had to get up and get them inside because I'm afraid it's a skunk. If it's a skunk outside, then I have to deal with dogs who smell like skunk. So I'm yelling at them to get back inside. And then also we have the bird sleeping in our room right now. And I'm so I'm not trying to wake him. It's just a mess. Anyway, so it interrupted my dream. And I was having this dream where I was a witch in the ocean, literally in the ocean, like a mermaid. So a sea witch, I guess.
Sea witch, right? That's badass.
Yeah. But I was in a coven, and so there was a group of us, and we're working on something that we're gonna, I don't know, a spell we're gonna cast or something. And then there was I don't know if she was the head witch or what she was, but she was the one that was frustrated with all of us because we were missing one thing that we were supposed to bring or something. And it was just funny. It was just really intense. The feeling of living in the water. As a human, you don't that's not a possibility. So it was just a weird thing to be underwater, and it was a really weird dream.
You know what? Now that you're telling this to me in detail, there are things coming that I'll tell you off. We don't need to share that because people, but very cool. Okay, can I just back up for a minute and say that I love that you have to tiptoe not to wake up the bird. What? Because we've all heard that little shit when he gets all upset or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's just he needs 12 hours of sleep, and if he doesn't get 12 hours of sleep, then he acts like a total asshole. So we put him to bed at 9:30 at night, and then I don't get him out of his cage until 9:30 in the morning. So yeah, that's so we try, between those hours just to keep it quiet in that
Oh
room.
my God. He's like grandpa, right? Grandpa needs specific things, and if he doesn't, acts like a.
He's very hormonal. If not, if those birds don't get enough sleep, they get very hormonal and then they get angry.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah.
But I love that you do your research because, I mean, you really
Oh,
should,
otherwise,
I,
yeah, otherwise you'll just end up with a bunch of cuts on your hands
I
and
mean,
stuff. God knows what else.
oh yeah, everybody knows what I think about that bird, but he is cute. If nothing, he's cute.
Yeah.
Uh, do we have any announcements?
No announcements. No, nothing on my end.
Okay. So today, I have a mini double episode, and
Okay.
um, I'm gonna edit this today, and I'm gonna drop it today because today is the Lionsgate. So, mini double episode. It's probably going to be the same length as a normal episode, but I wanted to cover two different topics,
Mm.
so that's why I'm doing this. We're going to talk about the Lionsgate portal, and then I want to talk about the Seven Sisters of Pleiades.
Oh,
I
okay.
know, I'm excited. All
Yay.
right, so let's start with the Lionsgate.
Okay.
All right, so um, each year on August 8th, today, we're given a really potent opportunity to set our intentions for the rest of the year and manifest it all with a super like boost of energy. Okay, so that's what
Hmm.
today is really good for, manifestation, because this portal is
Okay.
opening. This is the opening
Okay.
to the Lionsgate. Okay, so we're always creating our reality anyway, right? With our thoughts. But when this Lionsgate is
Hmm.
open, and it's open it actually opened a couple days ago, but it's open from now until the 12th. So we have 4 days to work with this energy. When
Yeah.
it's open, the energy of thought and belief, so manifestation, it intensifies.
Hmm.
All right. So
Hmm.
everything just works bigger, more intensely, and faster. We've had some issues with technical issues today. I've had them on
Yeah.
my end with the B sound on your end.
Hmm.
So there's just a lot of intensity going around. So use this energy today. In the next 4 days, it's going to multiply everything. It's going to keep them moving, all of your intentions. It's going to keep them moving until that point of manifestation when they show up in your life. The
Yeah.
other thing that the Lionsgate is good for is it fuels major life shifts. So if you're looking to take a shift or make a shift in your life, you know, this is the time. Listen, here's the thing though, with this energy, do not play small. Just don't do it. You can play small in every other day of your life if you must, right? But this day, go big with your thoughts and your dreams, and all of your manifestations, your intentions. Go really fucking big, um, because the possibilities of this portal are truly infinite. And I will tell you, it's my favorite astro event for a reason. I've said this, that 8/8 is my favorite astro event of the year. And so I go big every year with my manifestations, and the results are always amazing and on point for me. So I really recommend that you do some sort of manifestation or intention setting process or practice through August 12th. All
Okay.
right, so let's talk about the power. So the peak power, because the Lion's Gate is at maximum power on today, the eighth day, it's the eighth day of
Hmm.
the eighth month. It's activating that energetic power of the eight. And we all know how cool the eight is. And if we don't, we're going to talk about it. Um, so use the power of eight to tap into all of the modalities of your spiritual and intuitive practices over the next 4 days. So, for instance, in astrology, the eighth house and the eighth sign of the zodiac, those belong to Scorpio, right? So, astrologically, eight has connections to power, transformation, energy, passion, and sexuality, right? So, astrologically, it's a great day to
Sure.
pull a chart, do a chart, look at your chart.
Hmm.
In tarot, eight corresponds to the strength card in the major arcana, which features a woman embodying the power of a lioness. And
Yeah.
she also incorporates that infinity symbol over her head, which is also
Hmm.
the eight. And that
Yeah.
is just her, she's just exuding that courage and wisdom and fearlessness, right? You've tamed the lion, that sort of thing. So strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
In numerology, the eight, especially the double eight, is incredibly favorable. 8 is the empowerment number, and it is
Hmm.
that bridge between the material and the spiritual realms.
Hmm.
Um, it's signified again by that infinity symbol, and it also represents material wealth and success. Um, it embodies balance, action, achievement, security, leadership, ambition, financial security, all of those things. That's what the 8 is that embodies. So it's just a
Okay.
really powerful day in a bunch of different modalities. I'm sure there are more out there. I just picked the top 3.
Hmm.
All right, so here's the other cool thing about the Lion's Gate. So all of that power, all of that intensity, all of that potent portal energy. Now imagine all of the radiance of the sun in this powerful mix.
Yeah.
And the sun um, that rules. Okay, now I'm doing this from. You'll have to help me here, maybe. The sun
Leo.
rules Leo, and we're in Leo,
Yeah.
correct? Are we still in Leo?
Yep.
Yes. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So,
So that's what the Lionsgate portal is. It's basically
yes.
it's what it is that the sun is in Leo and the Earth, Orion's belt, and the star Sirius are all
All
lined up.
lined up.
And that's why we call it the Lionsgate
Yes.
portal. Hmm.
And so all of that energy, I mean, once you just think, now you have a good understanding of all this fucking energy at work.
Why?
That's
Yeah.
why you can sort of now grasp the absolute power of this portal and what it can offer you. Honestly, over the next 4 days, if I give anybody any advice, it's to lead from the heart, speak all those things from the heart, manifest from
Hmm.
your heart, and then live from the heart. Just think of all that heart-centered energy, which I've talked about that before, how potent that is. It's just a really powerful time. So if you're going around, you're negative, you're pissed off, you're doing all these things, you're calling in, I'm broke, I'm this, I'm that. God, don't do it, girl. No, don't do it, people. Don't.
Not today.
Um,
Not ever.
no, not
But
ever.
especially not right now.
Right. Not now, not for through the next 4 days. All right. So how do we make the most of this energy? Okay, so it's an opportunity to amplify your personal power and use it in an intentional way. We know that, right? So, what I'm going to recommend is that you work from your solar plexus to really tap into that self confident tenacity, that self trust, that solar plexus energy. Um,
Yeah.
it's your body's energy center that directly correlates also to prosperity in the process of manifestation. Now, I know some people say that your root chakra is the one that correlates. That correlates with money, it correlates with safety, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
your solar plexus is your power to call it in
Yeah.
and manifest and stand in it.
Hmm.
All right. So, for example, I mentioned this before. If you're struggling with finances, you can use this energy to set an intention to guide your thoughts in the direction of financial prosperity and safety. So, the intentions can be very well intentional. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's ask for help guiding your thoughts or keeping your thoughts out of lack.
Hmm.
Some other ways that you can work with this is to take part in your favorite spiritual activities that will amplify your energy and your intentions. Um, examine the level of satisfaction within your life and decide what has to change or shift. That's a good way to work with this energy. Ground in your awareness when you are experiencing those joyful, beautiful moments and let the universe know that you want more of this feeling, sending
Yeah.
out appreciation.
Yeah.
Doing things that like open up your heart and bring joy, right? So that those energies are in your aura and they're coming from your heart center. Um,
Hmm.
and then just know that if you do these things, rapid growth is in store, and just really send that love and that experience and that out to the universe. So, yeah, it's a powerful energy to work with. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah, just use it with intention.
Yeah. I was telling you before we started recording about how I've really been working on bringing in or accepting the messages that come in, like
Yeah,
kind of through what I guess we would call synchronicity. So this morning, when I first opened my social media, there's this account that I follow. It's this couple. Um, uh, they have a, I guess it's like an interior design business, and they were been remodeling a house, and that's kind of why I follow them. They just do cool stuff, whatever. But they were talking about how they were just like outside in their garden and just spending time outside in their
Appreciating.
house.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and they're talking about how they've spent so much time with their business, writing a book, a remodel, this and that, and living in this life of like constant, like, what's next, and like, what are we working on now, like, what are we doing, like, and all that. That they've really made it a point now to take a moment and just sit back and like actually enjoy your life,
Mm-hmm.
because what is the point of all this work that you're constantly doing and busy, 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 if you can't take a step back and just enjoy what you have in front of you, what you've already achieved, what
Mm-hmm.
you've already worked for. So I thought that was a really beautiful message.
That
And it was exactly what I needed to
Well,
hear.
it is beautiful, and it really is the foundation of manifestation, because you're saying to the universe, I'm happy, I have everything I need, I'm joyful, I want more of this now, because that's your
Yes,
point
more
of
of
attraction
this.
at that moment, and it will amplify, especially in this energy.
Yeah.
Um, that's similar to the message that you left for Kate when she asked about saging her house in the esoterics community. You're like,
Yeah.
connect with your home, connect with it, and let
Yeah.
it know. And yeah, very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, I guess the final word that I would have to say about using this Lionsgate energy, but then also this is a good message for every day of the year. It would be when
Hmm.
we're in alignment with our soul blueprint, which means that we're accessing our joy, we're accessing our true power, in all of the ways that we were born to and that we have access to, our abilities, our intuition, all of that. Then that also gives us tools that universal law offers us. And really, it's all about universal law. Which, if you're familiar with it,
Yeah.
amazing. If not, it's on the books to do an episode about universal laws. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, we should.
yeah, it's a
Definitely.
good one. It's a good one. So, again, do something. You have 4 days to do it. Get busy.
Yeah.
Get busy.
And it doesn't have to be super
No.
complicated too. I feel like sometimes it almost feels overwhelming.
Yep.
Like I know I've done this before where I'm like, but I have work and I have this and I
Mm-hmm.
have that, and then I gotta go
Mm-hmm.
home and like clean my space and do this thing and blah blah blah. And sometimes it can be something as simple as like writing down whatever your intention is and then burning it up, like,
Yes.
safely. And that's it. Like it doesn't have to be a whole
Mm-mm.
production. But if you want it to be a production and you enjoy that, then do that.
Yep.
But if it feels like a chore, don't do it that
I
way.
mean, there's so many rituals out there, right? That have you
Yeah.
gather all of these supplies, and then you got to say all these
Yeah.
things and do it. And for me, I'm like, no, that's too much work. I just want to put my intention out there, and that's what I do. I'm like, okay, spirit,
Mhm.
gather around and listen up. It
Yeah.
really is that
And
easy.
that's it. Yep. Yep.
Okay, all right, next topic. Right?
Yes.
Yay! Two topics in one. Let's talk about Pleiades and the Seven Sisters. What do you know about Pleiades? What do
Oh.
you know about the Seven Sisters?
I don't know
No,
anything other than, it's a
it's
galaxy?
okay. It's a constellation, so I love it.
A star system?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Good. I love this. Like, of course I love it when you contribute and we have conversations. But it's always fun to just talk about something that is new. I love to learn about things new.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so from October to March, if you look up at the sky, you're going to see a cluster of stars known as the Pleiades. Or I'm sorry, known as the Seven Sisters, but it's in the Pleiades sort of star system, I guess, or it's a constellation called the
Okay.
Pleiades. Um, now, this star system has been the subject of myths and legends in almost every culture on the planet. The
Hmm.
Pleiades are among the first stars mentioned in literature, appearing in Chinese writings from 2350 BC. Isn't that crazy? 2350 BC.
What?
And then in European literature in 1000 BC.
Wow.
So they've been around. Obviously, the stars have been around forever. And so,
Right.
I mean, the cavemen, I don't even know what BC that is, but the cavemen had stars on their cave walls. Okay, so these sisters can be seen shining brightly in the night sky and have been, they're the talk of myth and legend. So,
Hmm.
okay, now in the olden days, the Pleiades was typically seen as a bad omen. Okay, but it was likely due to the way feminine energy was interpreted at the time these records were made. Because remember, they're called the Seven
Yeah.
Sisters. We're going to get into why they're the Seven Sisters here, but I wanted to start out that
Okay.
a lot of you know times they were considered a bad omen.
Mm.
But again, it was likely the way that feminine energy was interpreted at the time. Because as we know today, feminine energy is not inferior, it's not unlucky, it's not weaker than masculine energy. And today in modern astrology, many believe that this very highly advanced feminine energy held by the Pleiades has the ability to bring deep healing and connection into our lives. The divine feminine. All
Mm-hmm.
right. And the other thing Pleiadian energy is also associated with is building like healthy communities, and learning to live off the land in a harmonious way. And a lot of old school farmers would, base their crops and stuff. We've talked about that before
Oh, that's
on,
beautiful.
yes, on the rising of these sisters. Well, it is through March
Okay.
and October. So, I'm sorry, October. Wait a minute. It is, October to March. So, it starts in October. Yeah,
Harvest. Okay.
harvest. Yeah,
A
yeah.
like harvest and planting
Yep.
season, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes
So
sense.
that's how some of the origins of them. There are a ton of stories about Pleiades and the Seven Sisters. The constellation is also, a lot of people say that it's home to advanced being that spread the message of love and light, and those would be Pleiadian. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of star seeds these days are able to channel messages from Pleiadians, and then they also feel that Pleiades is their planet of origin. Yeah,
Mm.
so, and I know I kind of deal with that a little bit in the Akashic Records. Like, I know that my planet of origin is Arcturus.
Oh,
How
okay.
do I know? I don't know. I just know. That's weird. So, there's no data.
Don't ask me for proof. I just know.
I'll give you proof. So, there's also a really cool novel series out, and I will give that information at the end. But it's like a 7 or 8 series books. It's nonfiction, or no, I'm sorry, it's fiction. But if you love those escapist novels, it's really cute and really cool, and it gives you some good information about the whole Seven Sisters. Okay, so let's look at some of the legends and myths from around the world. Okay, so
Okay.
Greek mythology, and this is how they got their name as the Seven Sisters, or the different names. So, in Greek mythology, the Pleiades are 7 sisters. They were Maya, Alcyone, Asterope. Um, I have to. I put the phonetic spelling of these because they're pretty hard.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Seleno, um, Taigete, I think it is. I think it's some other way you say it. Hold on. It's Taja Jetty. We're gonna call her Taigete. I ain't got time for that shit. Electra and Merope. All right. Anyway, so their parents were Atlas, who was a Titan, and he
Mm-hmm.
was commanded by the god Zeus to hold up the world, right? So they show that picture of the dude holding up, that's
Yes.
Atlas.
Yes.
And then Pleione,
Mm-hmm.
who is the mythical protectress of sailors. So she's like a sea goddess, I guess. Okay. So
Oh.
those
Okay.
were the two parents. Titan and Pleione were the parents of these
Mm-hmm.
7 sisters. Okay, so after a chance meeting with the hunter Orion, the Pleiades, the sisters, and their mom became the object of his pursuit. So, trigger warning, pervy asshole male, okay? So, to protect them from his relentless, amorous advances, Zeus came
Mm.
in, and Zeus was like, bitch, I'm going to change them. He didn't do anything to fucking the Orion. He did it to them. He's like, I'm going to change you all into a flock of doves, which he then sent to the heavens.
Rude.
Like, I'm not be a
Why
bird.
can't Orion be a flock of birds?
Thank you. Why can't Orion be sent away? Because he's got to hold up the earth. Oh, that's Atlas. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, what's Orion
He's
doing?
hunting. Of course he's
He's fastening his belt. I don't
bastard.
know.
All right, so let's go into each of these sisters individually. Um, okay, so first is Maya. She's the eldest sister, and she's known for her outstanding beauty as well as her solitary life. And the story goes that despite her beauty, she was a shy, waif like woman, and she preferred her own company, and so she lived alone in these caves. So at one time,
Okay.
her star shone so brightly in the sky, it was shown brighter than any others. And so
Mhm.
that's why she's known as like the beautiful one.
Okay.
However, now her other sister Alcyone, her star shines brighter, and
Mhm.
say people say that that symbolizes that sibling rivalry between the two. So
Uh,
that's just this is just a blurb of the background on these seven sisters. Again, that book goes into more detail. All right, the next sister, Alcyone, she's the brightest star in the Pleiades and is often viewed to be the female equivalent of Sirius. And just like Sirius, Alcyone is this really high vibrational star that's really powerful and potent. So if we think of Sirius as like our spiritual sun, Alcyone could almost be
mhm.
like our spiritual moon. So
Oh.
she's said to bring waves of feminine energy to the earth as a way to remind us to tap into more of these qualities. So the story behind her is that when the world was filled with joy, prosperity, and tranquility, Alcyone watched over the Mediterranean Sea, making it calm and safe for sailors. She's the one that looks over the sailors. Um,
Okay.
she's the daughter of the one. Now, the king of Thessaly and Alcyone were married, and they were super devoted to each other until the day that they deceived Zeus. They
Oh.
deceived Zeus and Hera by pretending to be them. I don't know the story behind that, why they would pretend to be Zeus
Mm.
and Hera, but as you can imagine, in a rage, Zeus, he waited for the lovers to separate before he launched this thunderstorm over the seas, and
Mm.
it caused the king's boat to capsize and then to drown. Thessaly. Dude,
Fucking
fucking
Zeus.
Zeus. Okay, Zeus, he was a vengeful fucker. I swear. He
Yeah.
was always fucking people's shit up for the dumbest reasons. And Zeus was also a big fat hoe, okay, because he was rumored
Yes.
he was rumored to have fathered children with three of these seven sisters.
Yeah.
Honestly, all the gods were dicks. All of them, like dicks. But
But Zeus was just out having kids with everyone.
fucking Zeus, dude. He was a big old jerk. There's not one story where I'm like, oh Zeus, right? I'm like, what the?
No.
He's a dick. But we digress. All right.
Zeus bashing session over.
Such a jackass. Okay, the next one is Merope, and she's more commonly accepted as the lost sister because hers was the last star to be mapped by astronomers, and it's not really visible
Mm.
to the naked eye. So
Okay.
some legends suggest that she became lost because she hid her face in shame at marrying a mortal. Oh, poor mortal.
Oh.
And then others say that Merope hid her face out of shame because her husband was a criminal. So regardless, he was a criminal mortal, whatever. She got that man with a record. Okay, the next sister, Asterope, that translates to star. Isn't that cute? Like Astera, Asterope, star.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
thought that was really
Yeah.
cute. She's traditionally portrayed as one of the weaker sisters, perhaps because the star is one of the two that shines less brightly than the others. Right? Weak, dim light,
Mm.
rude.
Okay.
And the thing is I wanted to provide more information on these sisters, but there just isn't a ton, which is why that book is so cool. The book
Mm.
series is so cool because it's fiction, so she just gives them all these cool qualities and backgrounds and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, there's a couple more. Seleno, she shines less brightly than the others because she was once struck by lightning and is known to be the sister of the dark. I don't know how a star is struck by lightning, but we're just going to go because this is myth and it's the Greeks.
Right.
Again,
Right.
making shit up.
Or was she struck by lightning before when she was still a
I
bird?
or
Like was there an in
human.
between? Or you
I don't know.
maybe?
I don't know. Okay, now here's a cool thing about Seleno. She was said to have had two sons with Prometheus, and one of her sons was half wolf and the other one was half goat. Kind of cool.
Oh,
Kind of cool.
which
Which
half?
half, right? Thank. Oh God. I mean,
I feel like it's always like the bottom
yeah,
half is animal
right. Which
because the other way just looks really
it
fucking
looks so
weird.
weird. I don't know though. Would I rather? I'd rather have none. None. None
No,
for me. Thank you. No.
none. No, I know, right? But it's just funny
It's
though.
very funny.
But when they just say like half, it's like, well,
Well,
yeah.
remember Coven? Remember in the episode American Horror Story, The Coven, when
Oh,
they turned that
mm-hmm.
guy? He was his top half was like a real bull's head,
Yeah,
and I mean,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I don't know. That's like Beauty and the Beast type shit.
Yeah, it was bad.
Okay, the next sister. This is the one, the Tegeti, but that's not how you say it, but that's how we're going to say it. She valued her independence and lived alone in the mountains. But in comes fucking Zeus again, right? He had his eyes set on her and he
You can't
tried to
just leave
seduce
her
her. No,
alone.
he had to fucking seduce her. But before he could get his stupid claws on her, she ran into the arms of Artemis, who turned her into a doe. Again, instead of addressing the perpetrator or the predator, um, but Artemis turned her into a doe that she could escape. I don't know why she's more agile as a doe than a human, but
Oh, because, deer run
well,
pretty
I guess, yeah.
fast.
Yeah, okay, but then also listen, Tegete, she was like she was a desirable one. She because apparently Hercules tried to slide in her DMs too, and she was like, no, bye, see ya,
Boy,
bye,
no.
boy, bye. All right. So then the last sister, Electra, she was known as the third brightest star. And she had four children, one of whom later became the founder of the ancient city of Troy. So that's kind of cool. And then some sources claim that she vanished following the fall of Troy and then the death of her child. So that was Electra.
Oh.
So those are the seven sisters, and that's the story of how they became sisters. But there's or how they became stars. But there's actually a lot more. That's
Mhm.
just the Greek mythology of how they
Okay.
became the stars. Now, what we're going to talk about next are the other cultures. There's 7 or 8, and those stories are all really cool too. Brief stories.
Sure.
So in Celtic traditions, the Pleiades could be seen during autumn, and that's the time that was synonymous with celebrating and honoring the cycle of death. Therefore, the seven sisters were linked to death, loss, and grief. But they were
Mhm.
also believed to bring comfort to those in mourning. So, along with ruling over the cycle of death, the seven sisters were known to be strong feminine energy through hardship in the Celtic tradition. A little bit more positive.
Okay.
In Native American culture, they're known as the Seven Star Girls. Yeah, this one is one of my favorites. So legend has it, the Kiowa tribe were moving south for the winter when they camped by a stream, and there were a bunch of bears around. So one day there were 7 young girls. They were playing along the stream when suddenly some of the bears started to chase them. The poor girls, they jumped onto this small rock, and then they asked the Great Spirit to protect them. And the Great Spirit heard their pleas and made that rock grow upward with almost vertical sides, and it took those girls with it. And then it left the bears, right? The bears couldn't get them, but
Sure.
the bears, they continued to like claw at the rock. So they left these like deep scratch marks, which made it grow even taller. And then it pushed the 7 little girls into the stars. So what's cool about that story is that it also coincides with the Devil's Rock in Wyoming. I think that's what that's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
they said
Okay.
that's
That's a cool
what
story.
it is. Yeah. That's Native American culture. There's a couple more Native American stories. The Western Mono Indians, they believed the stars represented a group of wives who were really fond of eating onions. Right?
Oh.
Right. So their husbands are like, get out. They kicked him out. And I don't want no stinky breath wife.
That's like my husband when I eat garlic.
Kicks
How
you
much
out of
garlic did
bed.
you have today?
He's like, get out. Well, eventually they regretted their decision, right? Stupid asses. So then they went to look for the wives, but those wives wandered into
Mm,
the sky and they became the stars. That's
don't reject your
right. I
wives.
mean, that's the origin story. That's the original origin story of Fuck Around and Find Out.
When you come back looking for me, I'm not
That's
gonna be
right.
here.
I'm not interested in your bullshit. Now, the Blackfoot tribes of Alberta and Montana, the stars were known as the Orphan Boys. So these are not sisters, these are brothers.
Mm.
The fatherless boys were rejected by their tribe, but they were befriended by a pack of wolves. Saddened by their lonely lives on Earth, they asked the Great Spirit to let them play together in the sky. And as a reminder of their cruelty, in contrast to the kindness of the animals, not the boys' cruelty, but human cruelty, in contrast to the kindness of the animals, every night the tribe were tormented by the howling of the wolves that yearned for their lost friends.
Oh.
I know. The boys, they went to the sky, I guess. Hindu legend, the Pleiades are collectively known in India as Kritika, which I've heard this before, and the wives of the 7 wise men named the 7 sages. But I did. There was more information behind it, but I figured I didn't want to get too long, so I didn't get into it. But
Sure.
it's a cool story.
That's probably like a whole other
Right.
story. Yeah.
Japan's has 6 sisters. I don't know what happened to the 7th. It's Japan. In Japanese culture, the Pleiades are known as Subaru, which means unity. Okay. And they're usually referred to as being 7 stars. However, when the car company Subaru chose the name for their business, they decided to pick only 6 stars in the logo, supposedly because only 6 of the stars are visible to the naked eye. I don't know.
Oh.
No.
Oh, that's. I mean, I drive a Subaru.
Yeah,
I had
you
no
do.
idea, but that's kind of a cool thing to
It
know
is,
now.
right? You have the 7, you're driving around
Yeah.
with the 6 sisters on your car. In here in Oregon, like when you first get here, the Oregon starter pack is a Columbia jacket and a Subaru. That's, yeah,
I know.
that's on the West Coast. Subarus are legit, right? Like in Michigan, it's a Ford or Chevy.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Well, that's it. So those are some of the myths and legends about the origin of the 7 sisters in the Pleiadian star system. And the other thing I want to do to wrap this all up is to share a really fun tarot spread with everybody. And I'll drop this on Instagram and on Facebook that can help you sort of celebrate and another way to work with the magic of the 7 sisters. So it's a 7 sisters spread. It's a 7 card spread.
Okay.
It can be placed in any configuration you choose. It doesn't matter. It's just 7 cards that represent a different star or a different sister and a different aspect of the self. So, and again, I'll put all of this in on the socials. So for Maya, she's the eldest sister. It's about self-reflection. And so you should ask yourself, what do you need to know that is unknown to you in this energy?
Oh.
For Alcyone, the sister who represents the feminine power and peace, the question is, how do I find inner peace and total self-acceptance? For Celino, she's the dark sister. The question should be, what shadow do you need to explore? What do you need to see about yourself or know about yourself in your shadow? Electra is the sister who disappeared after the grief. What do you need to know about honoring your emotions? Asterope is the twinkling sister, how to deepen your intuition and your inspiration. Taigete, she was the companion to Artemis, and so that question is how to best explore your spirituality. And then the last sister, Merope, what do you need to search for? What do you need to recover? What do you need to bring back or step back into? So that's a fun tarot spread. And then the book that I kept referring to, and there's a series of books based on the legends of the 7 sisters, and it's by an author called Lucinda Riley. And Lucinda actually died in 2021 from cancer. But I was looking at her website, which I will link in the show notes, and she has some really cool books. So I'm not typically a nonfiction or a fiction reader, but this, I'm going to dig in. Yeah. It's a fun fiction series, and each book dives into a different story behind each of the sisters in modern day. And so, again, I'll post that in the show notes.
Cool.
So that is the conclusion of my double header episode on the Lionsgate portal, which is happening through the 12th, and then the Legends of the Seven Sisters in Pleiades. So yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. It was fun.
Yeah.
Do you have anything for the closing vibe?
I do not. I don't have. Well, okay. On a related
Okay.
topic, just because I was just reading about it before we got on, and I just thought it was interesting. It's actually really short, but because we talk so much about the Lionsgate portal, it's just historical information about
Yay,
it.
cool.
So it actually comes from Egyptian cosmology.
Ooh.
And they saw it as the dawn of their new year and a period where they would set new resolutions for the future. The ancient Egyptians revered the star Sirius as the brightest star, and all of their ceremonies and lifestyle revolved around Sirius, as they believed that it was a gateway to heaven and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they started exploiting the Lionsgate opening as those in that time that Sirius was the strongest and the brightest in the sky. And they believed that the portal, which when we talked about, it aligns with the sun in Leo.
Yeah.
But they believed that when it did that, the sun in Leo and Earth in Sirius moved into complete alignment with the pyramids of Giza.
Oh, I bet you that's right, though, because there's a lot of history around those pyramids being aligned with major Earth events or major events in astrological events. Those pyramids, they're not just rock. They're there. They're like there for the aliens.
And they're not just tombs. Yeah, they're not just tombs. They're not just, there's obviously,
fucking, I'll tell you what.
There's way more to them than
the Avengers live in those things. I don't care. I don't care.
For sure.
They do. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I thought it would be cool to add to the episode and round it all.
Thank you. That was really good information. There's so much out there. I just I focused on the mythology of it, but I'm so glad that you actually focused on the origin of the science of it. Yeah, very cool. You can find us on all the socials under Esoterics Podcast, and be sure to join our Facebook community, the Esoterics Community, to hear firsthand about our services, events, and courses, as well as access some woo-friendly resources, energy updates, group-only pricing, and occasional card pulls and freebies.
Yeah. And also, you'll also find support and information for developing your own spiritual and intuitive abilities, as well as your daily practices. Thank you for inviting us into your life. Stay mystical, magical, and ready to do it again next episode.
Thanks. Bye, guys.